things. Online students, did you understand this entire thing, students? Shall I move to the next topic? Harish, your heartbeat for study for students are yes. Okay, come to the point. Because after my intermediate, when I came to engineering, by seeing their lecture, I used to go to wonder, in intermediate, how they teach kinetic energy of mv square. Here, m is called so and so, v is called so and so, units, SI unit, CCS units, problems, IIT problem, JE mains problem, MSET problems. So detailed they will explain. And I used to observe how beautiful people these are explaining like anything. When we came to all of a sudden to Hyderabad and sitting in OU, one day, one chapter out, we have a discrete maths. 22 chapters are there. 11 days over. When we open the textbook, nothing I'm solving. That is what education is. That day I decided, if I become a teacher, I should not do like this. That is my early stages only I decided. That's why this much commitment on the subject part. Anyhow, students, let us come. What is this entire story says? When you become some responsible person, do your job fully. That is my advice. Okay? So, done. Go to the place. Development of programmer defined exceptions. Okay? Now, go to types of exceptions. How many exceptions? Two types. Number one, predefined, programmer defined. Predefined, programmer defined. Predefined exceptions developed by Python developers. Python developers. That means ROSM, PSF people develop. Available in Python software. Available in Python software. Used by all Python programmers for dealing with universal problems. Some of the universal problems are invalid conversions, value error, wrong indexes, index error, wrong key in set and dictionary, key error, wrong attributes, attribute error, wrong modules importing, module not found error, global variable modifying inside the function, unbound local error. These are all called what? Universal exceptions, universal problems. To deal with universal problems, they give some classes for you. But all classes may not be meeting my project requirement also. So definitely I have to develop my own exceptions. That is called programmer defined exceptions. How to develop that? Now I'm going to. When I'm developing COVID-19 case study application, there are some exceptions will come. When I'm developing some type of what? Pharmacy, medical store application, developing, definitely some exception will come. When I'm developing banking application, definitely some exceptions will come. So whichever domain I'm developing, definitely some type of exceptions will come. But the exceptions are not there in the predefined exceptions listed. So we have to develop those exceptions like what? How the predefined exceptions are developed? In the same way, I have to develop my own predefined exceptions also. Okay, so I'm going to carry programmer defined exceptions now. And one small announcement I want to tell. One small announcement. One small announcement in middle of it. Tomorrow, no class. Tomorrow, no class. Next class is on Friday. Friday at sharp. Miracle. Sharp at 6 o'clock 10 p.m. Ranjit Kumar saying thank you, sir. Okay. Did I take any leave when your batch started? Not remembering. I did not take. So, do you know, students? You can understand how carefully I'll come to my class. Correct? So, with all my students' grace, with all my commitment, I'm coming so far to class daily. I took my class, one leave I took almost 4.5 months back. I took my leave. 4.5 months back, I took a leave. Now, tomorrow, I'm taking a leave. I'm going to other state. I'll come back evening. By morning, I'll go. Evening, I will come back. So for some purpose, I'm going. That purpose not necessary. I can tell, but no need. But okay. So, so which states are okay? Aditya Kumar. So, okay, your friend already said, okay. So, okay, students, tomorrow I'm going to one state. So Friday, and how do you go to that state? Mornings or evening? How you can come? Light we can go. We can come back. So some only 2 hours work is there. We have to see that compulsory. I have to go, and I have to come back. So, tell me the purpose. Simple. Going along with my daughter. So I'm going along with my daughter. Yeah, Raj Kiran. So I'll go to now. Tomorrow I'm going. I'll come back evening. Actually, I can stay 1 or 2 days, but only 2 hours work. I just have to take her and I have to bring her just to some purpose. I'm taking her just to habituate, and she is very much attached with me, and I have to make her to show what is the things. Just only like that. Okay. Other than that, nothing is there. Okay, students. Now I'll move to my topic. Come to the topic. Okay. Next class is on Friday. Okay. So come to this place, and tomorrow don't try to roam here and there, and don't try to make Thursday holiday, Friday, Saturday, take the luggage and jump. If you do, this concept will come. This concept I'll introduce. And that concept case study will come on Friday, Saturday. ATM code I'm going to explain. With more case studies will come on Friday, Saturday. By the time you come on Monday, you will get exception. So, right, Raj Bharat. Thank you, my dear student. Thank you. So I will move to the further. Now, I'll go to further. So development of programmer or user-defined exceptions. And now I'm going to take care about this. Now coming to this. So here I'm going to enter into this programmer-defined exceptions I'm taking. Try to carefully watch it now, students. Here I'm going to enter into the programmer-defined exceptions. I'll open one here, 6 p.m. I'll take it. Types of exceptions here. Exceptions here. I will take types of exceptions in Python. Programmer-defined exceptions. Already I gave you here. Programmer-defined exceptions are those which are developed by Python programmers, available as a part of Python project, and are used by other team members. In some project, there always deals with what common problems occurring in the project. I will just carry this and I will put it into our place. So time is almost getting over. So here I will putting into this place. I'll just write it. So programmer or user-defined exceptions are those defined by the people of like you. Put it into your project. Deals with what? Used by other team members of same project. Deals with what problems? Common problems. Sir, what is that? Common problems. Okay. Understand. Attempting to enter invalid username and password. Attempting to enter invalid username and password. What is it? You are entering invalid username and password. What is that? Invalid input is called a wrong input. Runtime error. Exception. Exception means what to create? Object. Behind object, who is there? Class. Is that class already there in the predefined exceptions list? No. Yes. Wicket out. No. Yes means they will stamp out. Is it there in the exceptions list of predefined? No. So who need to develop? That is known as what? Programmer defined exception. I will take what is that name? I take login error. Spell out. Do you have login error in the Python software? No. I need to develop or not? Yes. Next, attempting to enter invalid PIN ATM application. What is it? Exception. Wrong and exception. Valid input means result. I already said no. Going rules against the rules. What is that? Exception. Not reading notes. Exception. Not writing notes. All are occurring in you. Correct? All are occurring in you. So reading notes, writing notes, practicing. These are all occurring in your body. I know. Not practicing, not reading, everything. Okay. Any of you students do well. See, pin error, pin ATM, pin error. Do you have pin error in Python exceptions? Who need to develop? That is known as what? Come on. Programmer defined exceptions. Next, attempting to withdraw more amount than existing balance. You have 20,000. You are trying to put one attempt, 30,000. If it is coming, enjoy. And tell two friends, here money is there. You enter something more. Will it come? Now, how to write the code for it? How to write the code for it? In UPI transaction, you are having by mistake 19,999 rupees is there, and you are trying to transfer 20,000. What you will get it? Transaction failed. That means when you say that amount, when you say enter key or you're entering something, is it checking that balance or not? Your balance, the existing balance compared. Immediately what? Raise the exception. Which exception? Transaction failed. How to develop that? Programmer defined exception. We'll tell the code in the class. Done. Come to the point of it. Attempting to enter invalid names of the people, places, and product names. Very important question that is. If I enter your name wrong, if I enter something numbers in the name, you will get what? Exception. Valid or invalid? Invalid. That is all comes under what? Programmer defined exception. If anything wrong input, need to consider as an exception. And need to create an object of appropriate exception class. If it is created by the programmer, we call it as what? Programmer defined exception. If it is already present in the Python software, it is called predefined exception. Are you following me? So I need not write again that part. Now I need to tell steps for developing programmer defined exceptions. 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 Defined exceptions. So here I need to go for it. Steps for developing programmer defined exceptions. Today not, next class. So time is also not sufficient. So it will take around 20-25 minutes. So next class I'll tell you. Okay now? So you may expect sir 10 to do only. Friday I want to go somewhere. Go somewhere, you'll get exception. So next up, I'll tell you this on Friday class. Okay? On Friday. So at 6:10 p.m. I will tell you students, don't miss the class. Very, very important class. Meantime, you execute all of them. Shamsuddin, thank you, my dear student. Thank you. So further, tomorrow, don't move here and there and read well. And Friday class, when I come back, I will ask all the try block points, except block points, else block points, and finally block points I'll ask. That guy is absent for so many days. Stand up. Huh? Absent for 10, 12 days onwards. Went to underground or what? You are online attending. Yesterday, what I thought that is which what hmm, that what is that? Hmm? Day before yesterday, you are in online. Which topic I taught? Types of errors. Types of errors. Day before yesterday. Hmm. How many? What are those? Compile time error, logical error, hmm? Runtime error. Runtime error or wrong time error? Hmm? Runtime error. Okay, good. Attended. Day before yesterday attended. Yesterday you did not attend. Correct? Correct. Correct? Yes. Yes, I can find out. If you are speaking to me properly, I will find out the facts. Yesterday you went to underground. Correct? Correct? Say. Good. Sure. No problem. Sure. See, when you speak out, I'll find out the actual. I'll scan the student. No problem. You can enjoy, but subject is also important. Correct or not? So take your friend's help. Try to revise. No. Who is that? Now. Okay, students. So, okay. Hemnath says a good boy. I will revise and practice function topic. Okay, good boy. Right. Arun, thank you. And hmm? Ramesh, Madhu, Mickey is my friend, sir. Who is Madhu here? Who is Madhu? Present here or not? Is there? Is there? Stand up. Hari Madhu. Who is Madhu? Hmm? Morning class. Ah, okay. Morning. Because he's just moving this side and that side. Okay. Okay, okay, student. Take care. Okay, students. Pankaj, thank you. I'll stop my class and Friday class don't miss. This part we started in the last class and we are about to start now. So that is the day has come and that we need to start with. So here some steps are required, students. Only step number 1 and 2, that's all. Step number 1 and 2, that's all. Only 2 steps are available. Third step also I will write it, not an issue. How to develop that? So first of all, is it clear? Programmer defined exceptions are those which are developed by Python programmers and they are available in Python project and they are used by other team members of same project and they are always deals with common problems occurring in the project. So some of the common problems are attempting to enter invalid username and password is considered as an exception here. So that exception need what? Object to create. Object to create. That object require an exception class. That exception class not there in Python software doesn't provide. So that type of exception class to be defined by the programmer. This type of class which is developed by the programmer is what? Programmer defined exception class we can call. Next, attempting to enter invalid PIN in ATM applications. Also same to same. Exception. Anything wrong, exception. Need to create an object, require an exception class. That exception class need to be developed by the programmer. But we call it as what? Programmer defined exceptions. How to develop it? Now I'm going to give some steps here. Let us take here. I'm using one concept here. What is that concept, students? Class concept I'm using. And next I'm using inheritance concept I'm using. Both of them are what? OOPS features. OOPS features we are going to use it. Anyhow, I'm going to discuss OOPS features very shortly. Class concept, inheritance concept I have to use today. Actually, this concept, class concept and inheritance concept, if I would like to tell at OOPS features time, you will forget exceptions. If I say now, at least you will understand the importance of class and inheritance. That's why, even though you don't know what is the class concept and inheritance concept, I'll make you to understand what is the importance of OOPS features in development of exceptions. So let us start discussing about how to develop this programmer defined exception. For that, I'm discussing one small concept here. First, I'm writing exception handling hierarchy chart. Exception handling hierarchy chart I'm going to discuss. Exception handling hierarchy chart I'm discussing. Exception handling hierarchy chart I'm discussing. This part says that some diagram I'm writing. That diagram will give you a lot of importance. Look at here. Before writing, I'd like to give you some small diagrammatic format I will give. Left side, technical awareness I will give, and right side I will write some other thing I will write it. So something I'm writing here. So here, as a part of that, I'm taking something like this. So now here, students, try to follow me carefully. Here I'll write something like this. Now, students, a small point I want to say, general awareness I'm giving, right side part you see. So you are there. You are there. So you are called what? Child. And your parent is also available. Your parent is available. What is the relation between your parent and child? Hmm? Hmm? What is the relation between child and parent? Hmm? What is that? What is the relation between parent and child? Actually, me తెలియదు అది. Because I'm talking about the technology. VSS Ramakrishna. Blood relation. Okay. Okay. So మీరు అలా చెప్తారు, నేను వేరే విధంగా చెప్తాను. So in subject, there is a relationship called easy relationship. Easy. Has a. Easy has a. Uses a relationship. Uses a relationship. Easy has a. Uses a. Blood relation. ఇది కాదు ఇది. So, Ramakrishna, good. So coming to the point of it, now I'm talking about, so I did not find any useful content from online students and offline students also. No issue, and parent and child. And forget about that words also, parent and child. Now, every parent will gather for you something, will earn something for you, and they will give you in their life, either in the form of education or in the form of properties. They'll give something to you. Correct? Nice. What is that is called? Inheritance. Life level meaning of inheritance is what? What is that? Getting something from your parents without doing anything, they are giving directly to you. That is, in my coding point of view, parents already defined some code. That code you are getting in you without working hard, without doing any efforts. That is known as what? Inheritance. So, this parent is called base class. Spell out. Base class. మీరు పలకాలి. Base class. Also called as what? Super class we can call. Base class or super class. Base class or super class. And the child is called what class? Opposite to base class is derived class. Derived class. Spell out. Or also called as what? Subclass. Also called as subclass. Okay. Also called as subclass. I think you are following me. Also called what? Subclass. Clear? And in the classroom, teacher and student is what? Teacher is called what class? Base class. And student is called what? Derived class. The student will be in the class according to the teacher. If the teacher is liberal, and the student will do their own job. If the teacher is strict in that class, that student will follow according to the rules and regulations of teacher. Are you following? So if the teacher is liberal, you will sleep. If the teacher is strict, at least you will act like listening. Listening or not, that is different. But at least you will not move this side or that side. That is required. Correct. So coming to the point back. Base or super class, derived or what? Subclass. Now, how do you write? Parent is called one class. Types of parents are what? Objects. Child is called what? Class. Types of children are what? Object. Student is what? Class. Types of students? Mobile. Class. Types of mobiles? Parents. Types of parent? Object. Parents. Classes. Types of parents? Objects. Children. Class. Types of children? Like that. How to write the code for this? The code will be written as something like that. Look at the code here. To develop functions concept, we use which keyword? DEF. To develop anonymous functions, which keyword we use? Lambda. Lambda we use it. To develop today, which concept? We use which keyword? Class. We use class. Are you following me? Right. Now I'm going to use it. Come on, what is this now? Class. Class is a keyword. Used to define what? Class. Don't worry about what is the meaning of class in technically. Class. Come on, how do you write it? Parent. And I'll say pass. What is the class? You don't worry. What is the class? Already your teachers defined. It's a blunder. Then a teacher and any teacher who defines in the college, it's a blunder. 100%. Who studied OOPS in your colleges here? Of course, almost you are not raising. So Java OOPS is there, C++ OOPS is there. A class is a collection of what they will say? Objects they will say. But it's a blunder. Using class, we can create object. Okay, anyhow, come to the point. Class, what I'm writing? Child of. Generally, we used to write child like that. But we are taking properties from where? Parent. In the tuple bracket, we will write parent and say pass. So what child is containing? All the properties of parent are coming to where? Child. This is called what? The way which I am writing child of parent, I am applying what here? Inheritance I am applying. Are you following me? So what parent says, what parent is having, the total properties are coming to where? Child. So child need not to do the same coding again, right or not? It's called what? Reusability. Understood that? So reusability in the sense, already some code was defined. That code you are getting as it is, without writing, without taking physical memory space also. That is the beauty of which concept? Inheritance concept. Students, next I will go to the next example. Next example I will write it. One more example I will write it. If you are understanding, it's good. I'll go to one more example here. Take one more example. Teacher. I will write a teacher and I'll write the student. I'll write the student here. I'll take teacher and then student. So here I'm going to write it as usual. You already know that. Here I'm writing teacher. And the next I'm going to write it children. That is a student in the class. So going to this place here, student in the class. So there it will be going for, I will write some sort of symbol like this. It indicates the flow, how the things are coming. And how do you write the code? Teacher is called which class? Base class. Student is called How do you write the code now? Class, come on, teacher, I say what, pass. Class teacher, I say pass. Next I'll do what next time? Class student of what? Teacher. I'll say here again pass. I think you are understanding the meaning of inheritance. Something like that. In our Python coding, online students, I hope you are following me clearly. In this place, I'm going to enter into this place. If you carefully follow, here exception is one of the superclass for all the exceptions in Python. Exception is a superclass for all the exceptions in Python. There is one more kind of class is there. What is that class name? Base exception. Base exception. Base exception is another type of class. We are having another type of class. I think you are following. What is exception here? One base class. You can also take it in the form of what? You can also take it in the form of what? Here I am writing exception or what here? Base exception. Base exception you are taking. This is about concept of what? Superclass. This is known as what? Superclass. Superclass for all exceptions. For all exceptions. For all children, who is a superclass? Parent. For all the students, who is a base class? Teacher. Like that, it is a superclass for all the exceptions in Python. Under that, what are the exceptions are available? Start here, one by one. What you know about it, you tell me. Number one, what is that? Zero division error. Zero division error. It is one of the class name. Next, I will do it. What next? Next is called, come on fast. Value error. Value error. Value error. So value error. Next, I'm going to come to the next step. Come on. Next is called a type error. Type error. Do you have the clarity on type error and value error? If a wrong arguments you are passing in functions, we call. If a wrong conversions you are doing, that is value error. Value error. So coming to next. Next is key error. Key error. Next is called which error? Attribute error. Attribute error. Next is called what? Module not found error. Module not found error. Not found error. Like that, I'm having lot of classes are there. What is the next? Come on. Index error. Index error. Next. Come on. Yes, unbound local error. Unbound local error. Next. 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 Key error, zero error, etc. Syntax error. Indentation error. Name error. Why? They are called which errors? Compile time errors. Who will catch the compile time errors? Compiler. Who will execute the Python program? Who will execute the compile the Python program? Who will compile Python compiler? That student is option today. I expected. Morning only expected. I don't know. All of a sudden I got remembered. Compulsory expected is an absent. So by forgetting, by fearing, how many days you will live like that? One day it has to decide. By fearing, how do you decide, students? So, who sir? Hemna is asking. So offline student, my dear student. So don't live like that. You face the challenges. You experience it. Okay, anyhow, leave that. So IO error, which we get in the further, and you will get it as what? OS error. Like that, there are so many number of exceptions are there, students. So zero error, OS error. Next, I will write one more error. I will write it. Next is called EOF error, etc. There are so many. We don't have the space to write it. Compulsory question. When I come to files, next topic is files. What is IO error? They will tell. Input output error. Full form. What is OS error? Operating system error. What is UOF error? End of file error. That is called what? Ghazni number 1, that is. Don't know anything. So we have to tell about where that zero division error, why it will come. You need to tell all the reasons. These are all comes under what? From here to here. From here to here. These are all called what? Predefined exceptions. These are all called what exceptions? Predefined exceptions. These are all called what, predefined exception subclasses. Predefined exception subclasses. Did you understand this? Predefined exception subclasses. Predefined exception subclasses. Predefined exception subclasses. How these things are defined, students? Do you know how these things are defined? What is the superclass for child? Parent. How they defined class child of what? Parent. Like that, how they defined a zero division error? Class zero division error of what? Exception or base exception. How they defined value error? Class value error of base is what? Exception. Like that. So I'm writing a small thing here. Class, I'm writing here. Value error of what I'm writing? Exception, colon what? Pass. I'm just trying to write like that. Just I will try to reduce the student. Try to understand. This is what I'm trying to increase little bit. Here I will say little more. You observe it. Class, value error of exception pass. How many steps are there? Number 1, what? Value error. Choose the name of the class. Number 2, what? Inherit from where? Exception. Class child is one thing. Take the parent class is called two steps. Now, how they developed index error. Class index error of what? Base exception of what? Pass. What is the base exception? Parent class. And already exception and base exception, they defined already exception code they written. What exception code? If something went wrong, where PVM cannot process. Abnormal termination code is already written in where? Exception or base exception place, they already defined it. That property I'm getting into my class directly. Getting or not? So something like that. So like that, I'm defining in my today, I'm writing my own class. What is that class? Login error, pin error, I want to develop it. Will you develop? How zero division error and etc. they develop it? I want to develop my own error also. How to develop it? Class, pin error of what? Exception. Exception, colon what? Pass. That's all. What is this pin error is called? Programmer defined exception subclass. Subclass to whom? Exception. I will take up next one more kind of thing. Class. What is this now? Login error of what? Base exception. Base exception of what? Pass. Base exception of pass. Login error. Base exception of what? Pass. Are you able to follow this now? So defining your own exception is easy, not difficult. No? Easy. How many steps are there? 2 steps. What is the first step? Choose the class name. Choose the class name. That particular class must extend what? Must inherit from where? Exception or base exception. So that it inherits all the exception handling qualities, properties to your subclass. So your subclass becomes what? Your subclass will become what? Exception subclass of programmer defined. My dear student, you also went out of order. You want to become magician. Magician you want to become. You want to become magician. To become a magician, you need magical powers or not? To get a magical powers, what it needs? One trainer required or not? Who is the trainer? Class, senior magician. Senior magician, pass. He is having lot of skills. When you go to birthdays, keeping some color thing and remove that and showing some other thing. Do you know that? Do you know how they will do? You don't know, but you will enjoy. Okay, no problem. He is having lot of powers and you want to learn it. What is this now? Junior magician. Junior magician. Up to here you are a normal. You are a normal and you are getting which properties? Senior magician. Senior magician. I want to go for it. Colon what? Pass. What is the junior magician is called? Subclass of senior magician. What is the senior magician is called? Base class. What is the junior magician is called? He is getting all his inbuilt features to where? Junior magician. Simply. Before my class, who are you? Before my class, who are you, students? Huh? Before my class, who are you? Don't know. If somebody asks you, who are you? I don't know. So, okay, class. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know, students. Students don't know. Students don't know. Student don't know. And you are getting from where? You are getting what? Python teacher. Python teacher. Daily coming and teaching the literacy of what subject? Python. So you are getting the knowledge of Python or not? So you are which student? To bring to you to the subject line, it's very time-taking process. Because you are not in the mood of correct subject. That's why before the class, read the subject and come. So that it's easy for me to enter. Anyhow, Python student become a Python teacher becomes what? Same class student. Class student is going to get what? Java teacher. That student will become what? Java student. Because the Java kind of things I'm going to put it. The Java kind of thing I have to put it. Are you able to follow? So coming to the point of it. Class Python student, Python teacher, and Java teacher, and the particular students will become what student? Java student. So like that you are taking. These classes are what? Subclasses. These classes are what? Super classes. Like that. Don't take much time. I'm taking. What is this now? Choose the programmer defined class. Choose the programmer defined class. Choose the programmer defined class. And second one is what? The programmer defined class. The programmer defined class. I'm writing here. The programmer defined class must inherit the exception handling properties. Must inherit the exception handling properties to must inherit the exception handling properties from exception class or what? Base exception class. I think you are following. The programmer defined class must inherit the exception handling properties from exception class or base exception class, and hence the programmer defined class becomes exception subclass. Which exception subclass? Programmer defined exception subclass. I think you are following me. Then this entire development I must be saved on some file name with an extension called what? .py, so that it can act as a module name. So save the above development. Actually, third one not necessary, just I'm writing. Save the above two steps. On some file name. With an extension .py. That is known as what? File name.py. So to treat it as what? It is becoming what? Module name even. This is the steps for development of programmer defined exceptions. I think you are following steps development. This post I will send you today. Online students, is it clear? Is this concept is clear now? I'll move to the further. Now I'll move to the further. If it is clear, I'll move to the further. Okay, students. Now I'm going to enter into the further discussion now. So easy, students. Tulasi, sir, what is the class definition? See, ma, instead of worrying about the class definition, you just see. I'll go to my class 4 p.m. If I go to oops, because I don't want to enter into that. Class concept is there. Under the class concept, there is a class concept is available. Here, definition of a class is available. If I talk about it, you can't understand anything. I will explain that very perfectly for you. Syntax of a class, you see, this is a class level data member, instance method, class level methods, static methods, init, etc. Inside the class, what will present? These many things will present. Okay, no? So rather than worrying about these things at present, I will explain those things very perfectly for you when I come to oops. That oops you apply on every object-oriented programming language so that you will become an expert. Okay, now Tulasi, right now don't worry about the definition of the class. Understood? Fine. So Tulasi, did you understood, ma? So I'm going to your definition. Your doubt is postponed. I'll explain when I come to oops. Now I'll move to the example part. I should go for it. Shall I start up? So let us start about what is an example here. If you take an example, here I'm going to take up examples. If I take it, here I'm writing class, pin error of what here? Exception. Say what here? Pass. Again, I will take class, login error of what I will take? Base exception, for example. Base exception. So again, I'll say what? Pass. Like that, I'm just writing about it. We are not bothering about at this stage. What is the class definition? Everything, I'm not worrying about it. I'm just worrying about how to define. When I come to classes concept, I'll tell you once again, what is the definition of class? It's total concept. I will explain. So it's not a time to talk about that entire thing. Now I'll move to the further. Okay, Matulasi. So I called 3-4 times. I think you are there in the class or not. I don't know. So I'll move to the further. Open the notes. Write a Python program. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will develop an exception class, which will develop programmer defined exception class, which will develop programmer defined exception class, which will develop programmer defined exception class, which can handle division by zero problems, which can handle division by zero problems, which can handle division by zero problems, division by zero problems. Who will handle division by zero problem? Generally, zero division error. But today I'm not taking zero division error. I want to develop my own class. You write ORR, another way, ORR. Define a Python class, define a Python exception class, define a Python exception class. It should work like zero division error. It should work like zero division error. It should work like zero division error. So now I'm going to take up. Let us start entering into the zero division error. PyCharm, I'm going to take it. PyCharm, I'm going to take up. Look at that. So I'll go for closing this project. Close this project. Here I'm going to write it. New project I'm taking. Okay, already it is there. Exceptions here. Almost we enter into this area. 6 p.m. Today I'm talking about one part. So what I'm taking now? What I'm taking? They taken what? Zero division error. That is a predefined one. But I'm developing what? So our own programmer defined. So what I should take it? Division by zero error. I will take it. Division by zero error. I'm taking my own class name. It should look like a predefined class name. Actually, division by zero error is not a predefined class. I'm developing by myself. Okay, students, don't get confused, students. Here I'm writing. Okay, when I'm developing any application like that, now I'm writing programmer defined exception subclass. Exception subclass works like I'm writing here works like zero division error. Zero division error. So I'm writing the code for which works like a Python software. How do you develop? I forget. How do you develop? Tell me. Class. Come on, guys. Zero division error. I'm taking here zero division error. I'm taking zero division error. I'm taking of what here? Exception. Say colon what? Pass. So here file name and then module name same. File name and module name is same. Here class name also same. Suppose you want to take different one also, you can take it. Not an issue. Here I took it. File name same. Class name also same. Okay, no confusions. So manakantu scene list enduku manasanga we get confused. Go to C colon. Okay, we are here. PyCharm projects. Go to 6 p.m. exceptions. Under that zero division error, you take it as what you know. So more options. Rename. HYD you take it. HYD. Simply go to the place HYD. Simply. I'm writing here called what? HYD.py. File name come module name. This contains the name of the class called division by zero. Happy? Done. So what is the pass? You are telling the keyword. You are telling the keyword from my childhood days onwards. It's very wrong. Most of the time I said this so many days I'm asking. The pass is a keyword which you are getting very regularly in interviews. Pass is a keyword which instructs the PVM and Python compiler not to consider indentation block. Pass is a keyword which will bypass the indentation block. Pass is a keyword which makes the PVM and Python compiler to ignore the indentation block. Whenever I ask pass, keyword. Still 1 year also keyword, 2 years also keyword, 23 years also keyword. Where is the development, students? So done. Anyhow, keep it in that. So done in that. Okay. So I told before you, sir, you are very good student. When you say before me, you are very good student. If you say after me, you need to revise by yourself. Division by zero is over. This is called a development of what? Exception. This I'm going to call it as what, students? Phase one. Phase one. What is the phase one? We develop programmer defined exceptions. Programmer defined exceptions we develop it. We develop programmer defined exceptions. That is called the first property. Next time entering into the next property, hyd.py. We got it. Next time entering into the second area, second point I'm going to discuss. What is the second point you see? Careful. Now here, students, something I'm doing here, students. Division operation I'm going to do, or division.py. What I'm doing there, you try to carry. So here I'm writing program for calculating division of two numbers. Division of two numbers which are coming from, here I will write it. Here two numbers are coming from different program. So it is acting as a business logic concept. I'm going to do it. DIVOP of A comma B. I'm just writing what? Pass. What is the DIVOP? It's one common component I'm developing to everybody. Okay. Like what? Go to the Python environment. We are just developing exactly like a Python principle we are following. See, students, int of 10. What is int of 10? Is a function calling by passing the string data. It is happily converting. Int of 10x I'm passing. What data I'm passing? Alphanumeric. Int of 10x when I'm passing, will it be converting? No. What is happening? Implicitly, it gives what error first of all? Value error. That you know now? Let me tell you what is happening inside. Internally, this is receiving the data. See, I'll write the simple code. DEF, what is the function name? Int is a function defined by what? Python developers. Int. What they written inside? If a dot is a dot. Here I will write it. If not a dot digit. A dot digit. Not a digit. Not a digit. What happens? Madhubabalu. 10. 10 is there in where? A. What type it is? STR. A is digit. Actually, it is true. Not true means what? It is coming to what? Else part. In else part, what they did? They removed what? This double quotes they removed, and ending double quotes they removed. That will become a numerical value. Correct? So that is nothing but what? Convert what? Into string into what? Into string into what type? Into type. If not a dot is digit. Suppose this case you see. What is the is digit actually? False. Not false. What should I do now? I need to give which error? Value error. What is value error? Programmer defined exception class or predefined exception class. Already it was present in where? Python software. Already it was developed or not? That developed one PVM is using. Python developers used by writing which keyword? Raise is a keyword. Raise which error? Value error. They return it internally. What is the raise? Is a keyword which is used to hit the exception. Which is used to hit the exception. Which is used to generate the exception when certain condition is satisfied. Are you getting? When certain condition is satisfied, what happens? Raise value error. The value error is coming or not? So raise is a keyword used by PVM implicitly for hitting which exceptions? Predefined exceptions. But today we are writing our own exception. We need to write our own keyword called what? Raise of your exception name you need to write. Clear or not clear? So I think you are following me. Int of this one, what is coming? This message is coming. So implicitly PVM uses which keyword? Raise keyword. So what is the use of raise? To hit the exception, to generate the exception when certain condition is satisfied. Are you following? Next, 10 by 0. 10 by 0. What happens? PVM will check which one? Denominator. What is the denominator value? 0. If denominator value is 0, what exception is coming? Implicitly, PVM is using what? Raise 0 division error. So exception birth will start from which keyword? Raise. When you raise it, I will handle it. When you raise it, you will handle it. To handle it, which keywords I'll write? Try for monitoring, except for converting. So first exception birth will start from where? Raise. Handling will be done by what? Try, except. Later else will come, later finally will come. What is the order of the keywords? Raise, try, except, else, finally. So exception birth will start from where? See 10 by 0. It is getting 0 division error. Are you following me? So coming to the point of it, students in online, did you understand the meaning of raise? Now I'm going to write it. Come on, here I'm writing. What I'm doing, C is equal to what? A by B. A value 10, B value 0. 10 by 0. 10 by 0. Implicitly, PVM uses raise keyword. For raising which exception? 0 division error. But today I don't want to go for which exception? 0 division error. I need to write my own exception or not? To write my own exception, I need to use my own condition or not? Which condition? If denominator is 0, మిమ్మల్ని పంపింగ్ చేయాలంటే చాలా కష్టం అసలు. Even electricity is not sufficient. P is equal to 0. If denominator is 0, say what? Raise. Raise. Which exception? I need to go for what? Division by 0 error. Division by 0 error. What is division by 0 error? Is a class name. Every class name present in dash. Module is a collection of global variables, function names, class names. Every class name present in where? Module. మీకు అనవసరమైన గుర్తుంటే కానీ అవసరమైన ఎప్పుడు గుర్తుండే. సో ఐ విల్ సే హియర్ ఫ్రమ్ HYD import 0 division error. HYD is a module, 0 division error. A class is present inside the module. Module is a collection of global variable, function names. What is my class name? 0 division error. Present in which module? Simple, done, else, see, return what? A by B. So my function is going to give you what? If he pass valid result is coming. If he pass wrong input, raising the exception. Beautiful code. If you are reading well, job will come. Otherwise, exception will come. Exception means roaming on the roads. Job means going to the office. Raise exception. No salary, becoming poor. High salary, becoming rich. Decide what to do. When you remember these words 24 hours, you will read the subject only until you get the job. If no such points remembering, it's a problem. This is called which kind of thing? File name, and what? Module name. This is called what? Common business logic is developed. So this is called phase number 2. Phase number 2. What is the phase number 2 earlier? Here we develop what? Programmer defined exception. Here we develop business logic. There is a problem logic we developed it. Problem logic. During the problem solving, we develop the business logic. Nothing but what? Problem solving logic. We develop business logic and we hit what? Exception. If possible. And this I will write it. We hit exception if possible. In case of what? In the case of what error? Wrong input. We give answer. That is called we give output. In the case of what? Valid input. That's all. We develop a business logic. In what way? We hit exception if possible. In case of wrong input, we give output. In the case of valid input. That's all. This is comes under division.py. Now I will go to earlier one. We developed what? Programmer defined. We developed what here? Programmer defined business logic. I developed it. Simple, students. In universe, even in normal life, 3 things will be there always. In the case of development, I speak. Suppose you want to eat mango. Three phases mango is required to come. One is from the tree. That is nothing but production. It is the production. Next is called what? Seller. It comes to market. That means you are going to get the things from seller. And you are called what? Purchaser. You are purchaser. So you are getting from this place. And you are getting, these people are getting from this side. So I can get from this place also. That time is stated as what? Production plus what? Developer. The production come what? Seller. Are you following? Here also. Developing the exception, hitting the exception, handling the exception. Are you following? Developing the exception, handling the exception. Are you following? How do you feel hungry? In your body, hungry object is hitting. Before hungry object is hitting. Hungry is a class. Whose object hit? And your parents will keep it into try and accept. What? You want noodles, huh? You want veg Manchurian, you want normal food, you want pani puri, what you want, these are all called except. Your body will say what you want to eat. Correct? Don't do that and eat proper healthy food to become successful in your remembrance. So people are losing their remembrance because of what? Unusual habits. Start. Is it clear? Let's move to the further. Online students, did you understand? Harish, come to the point. So come to the point. Here, come to the point. And Harish, you are saying, okay, good, but don't eat that regularly because most of them are nowadays. I just watched in one small YouTube video how Hyderabad people will prepare that these days. Very danger. That's why don't try to go for it. Prepare by yourself and try to eat. Come to the second point. Third point I'm going to enter. Now I'll go to next one. New. Go to this place. Division demo. I'm going to take it. Division demo dot what py. I'm going to take it. Division demo dot py. I'm going to take it. What is this division demo dot py? Program for obtaining the division of two numbers. Division of two numbers. Be careful. This is what I'm going to write it. You only tell me now. A is equal to int of input of enter first value. Enter first value. Second B is equal to int of input of enter second value. Enter second value. There I'm taking. Next I'm going to talk it what res is equal to. What is my function name, students? DIVOP. Of course, some small example I'm showing you. A comma B you pass it. And this is known as what here? Tell me. Function call. This function call gives how many results? You are passing the input to your function. This function gives you two results. Just now I said either exception will come or result will come. Exception will come or result will come. When you go to the ATM center, what will come? Either user-friendly messages will come or money will come. Money will come means which result? Successful result. User-friendly messages means something done wrong. Same thing. Anything you do, two results will come. One successful result or one unsuccessful result. 50% chances. Okay. DIVOP. Use. Come on. What is this? Exception or result. Either exception will come or result will come. Come on. This is the one. When exception will come or result, I will keep it. Print of what? RES. And DIVOP from where? Division. From division, import what? DIVOP. Division is a class name, module name. Division is a module name. There I'm going to get it. DIVOP is called what? One function call. Try to run this now. See students, enter the value. Who is entering this value? First of all, you need to understand the flow. Who is entering this value? End user. 100, and then 20. 120. What is this input? Valid input. Who will take this valid input? Main program. This is called a main program. It is interacting with you. Main program. Passing that input to whom? DIVOP. Of which module? Division module. PVM will go to where? Division module. Under that which function? DIVOP. What is the value of AB? 120. 20 is equal to 0. False. False means go to where? Else. Return of what? 100 by 20. Which will return the result to whom? Main program. From wherever you called. What is the RES here? 20 printed. 20 printed. Sorry, 5 is printed. Are you following? Again I will run. Say here 100. And say here 20. Who is entering this input? End user. Who will take? Main program. Sending to whom? Function. Go to where? That function related module. Under that function name. AB 120. 20 is equal to 0. Go to where? Else. Return 20 by 100 by 20. What is the answer? 5. 5 returned to the place from where you called. Kept into RES that 5. And 5 is printed. The flow. You have to understand. Programmer should always understand the subject internals. Next. You say next way around. 10 and what? 0. Who is entering this input? Good. Who will take? Main program. Passing to whom? DIVOP. Go to the corresponding module. Looking for that function. What is AB? 10, 0. 0 is equal to 0. Raise division by 0. We are using explicitly raise keyword to hit my own exception or not. Implicitly PVM uses raise keyword for hitting predefined exception because it is already present in the Python software only. Since this is developed by me explicitly, I am using raise keyword explicitly here. Raise division by 0 error. Sending to whom? Main program. So it is going to give you right side only exception is coming. When exception comes, PVM will come out of the program and no more except blocks are there. Use which error? Which message? Technical error message. And your exception name also will come. See that exception name. See, this is all called what? Technical error message. What is that? Division by 0 error of which module? HYD. Are you following me? This is the message called what? Technical error message. Now I want to sort it out. How to sort it out? Try whichever statement is generating an exception, that statement must be written inside of where? Try block. Every try block must be immediately followed by except block. Which kind of exception? Which kind of exception it is hitting? HYD division by 0 error. Division by 0 error. That I need to import from HYD. From HYD import division by 0 error. Perfect. I'll print what here? Don't enter 0 for denominator. Don't enter 0 for denominator \t. RES is also there. What is this now? Else. This I'm going to write it. What is this now? div, and this is the first value. Second value is equal to dot format of a comma b comma res. A comma b comma res. Are you following? If exception is coming, send it to except block. If our result is coming, send it to else block. If anything not coming, no result, any exception or something, go to what? Finally block. I may write finally block. I may not write finally block. I am from which block? Or, okay, just I'll write. I am from which block? Finally block. Finally block. And program execution completed. Program execution completed. I'm writing here, program execution completed. Program execution completed. Shall I run this code? So start now and don't try to mistake by yourself. Be careful. 10 and what? 0. Who will enter this input? End user. End user. Who will take main program? Sending to whom? Function name. Function name will go to where? The corresponding module. And what the value of AB there? 10 and 0. 0 is equal to 0. True. Raise the exception. Hitting the exception. Wherever it is hitting, it go to the place from where it called. It called from where? Main program. In the line number 8, exception is occurring. PV will come out of which block? That particular try block. Looks for what? Except. Which exception was hit by PVM? That you are handling here, and it is going to give you this message. Except block will suppress the technical error message and gives your own message. Got it? Don't enter 0 for what? And it will go to which block also? That's all. Don't enter 0 for denominator. I am from final block. Program execution completed. Perfect. You enter next 1000 and what? 500 you enter. Same to same. What is happening? Result will come or not? Else block it will print. Div of 500 this one too. I am from finally block. Program execution completed. Are you following me? This program comes under phase number 3. Phase number 3. Phase number 3. What is the phase number 3 says? What is this phase number 3 says? Come on, this phase says what? This program previously you see, we develop programmer defined exception. We develop business logic, and we are writing, we develop a specific program, and handling the exception. If it occurs. I hope you are understanding. Handling the exception if it occurs. Otherwise, we displayed result. We displayed what? Result. That's all. And any more doubts here? So here, 20 and 4 got the result. Any more doubts? నాకు ఏ డౌట్ ఉందని మీరు ఆలోచించకండి. Do you have any doubt? What is that? Special symbol. You have to say other than numerics, that is special symbol. That means in this program only, this A and B is there or not? That A and B also going to give you what? Error. That is other than the exception I want, other than the numerical value. KVR. To say here, value error I got it. Which line I got it? Line number 5. Line number 5 I got an error. The try and is available in where? 7 to 9 it is available. This is not available here. Then what to do? This part, if you want to do it, you can write the statements under where? Under this try. Under this try. This is one thing. I will write what now here? Happily I'll go to this. Except what? Value error. Print of what? \t. Don't enter. I say here. Don't enter. AL, NUMs, STRs, and symbols. Are you following me? Perfect. So don't enter like this. See students, run this now. I say KVR here. Got it. Don't enter AL, NUMs, STRs, and symbols. I'm from finally block. Program execution completed. You say next term, symbol, percentage, and this one you see. Got it. Don't enter like this. This is one thing. Clear or not clear? Right. This is one thing. If you want another mechanism, what is another mechanism? This is try. You understood. Let me take up this in another way. Actually, you have to have a lot of skills in the coding, students. New, others, say, I'll take this now. I will keep it next alternative one. Division demo alternate.p1. Alternate.p1. There I'm going to copy this part. So this I'm trying to get it. This place I'm going to get it. So here, remove this. Here, obtaining specific program I'm defining. Here I'm writing. Done. So here, RES is equal to div of AB, function call, give exception or result. Actually, you defined like this or not? This is the way you defined it, actually or not? In this place, exception is coming, correct? In this place, exception is coming, correct? Now, line number 5, 6, exception is coming. Line number 7, 8 also giving. You have written already this try and acceptor. And later you adjusted these two lines also inside of what? Try. But today, do you know what I'm doing? For these two lines, I'm writing separate exception. See, try. I'm writing this entire thing, I will adjust it. This entire thing, I am adjusting it. See, students, try inside try. Try inside try. And it is a two-layered validation. Like CM will have 5-level security or not. Right? Outside, some people are standing. Next, inside, they will verify why are you coming. Next, third level security, they will check the body. In packet, something is there. In fourth level, they will see why you are coming. That aim correctly, they will check. Like that, we are verifying our validation strictly. For this try block, what is required? What is required? One except block is required. See the indentation. Except what I will do, this value error I don't write here. This value error I don't write here. What I'm writing, here only I'm writing. Here only I'm writing. This part I will take care. Don't enter alphanumeric and all those things. Are you following me? So finally block, if you want, you can write finally block there also. I am from finally block of what? Inner try block related. And if you want program execution completed, and if you want, you can write it. Sorry, you can say this copy and you can put it here. What is this finally block? This I am writing. This I am writing. This is called what? Outer try. And I already said try in the try also will come. Situation is required. Situation is required. So say 10 and 2. What input? Valid input. Flow, you know. It is entered. No exception in the outer try. It will print what? Inner try. Inner try. No exception. Else is printed. That finally block plus outer finally block also will execute. Outer finally block also will execute. Inner try and then outer try. Got it now? Yes. Now you say KVR here. KVR here. I got it. Don't enter. I am from finally block. Outer try only. Because inner try is exception or not? Because outer try related statements only. Here exception is coming. Line number 6 only exception is coming. That it will go out of that. And that's why we are getting outer try block. But strictly speaking, one try block is enough for understanding. If at all you want, remove this block. I think you are getting me. What is the significance of try and try? Are you able to follow, students? Right. Now I'll run my code and say here 100 and 0. I'm getting, don't enter 0 for denominator. I'm from finally block, program execution completed. Okay, now suppose if we want to repeat the same thing again, if they enter something wrong, what should I do? I will write here while true. While true is an exact code what you need to follow. There's an exact code you need to follow. I think you are following me. Of course, this is a commenting. Don't worry. Are you following me? This finally block. So this finally block, this part finally block, this finally block. If you want, you can eliminate this finally block also. Why? I don't need it because I don't have the resources. I don't have the resources. If result is coming, what to do? I need to stop. I need to stop. I'll write what here? Break, I will write. Got it out? Strictly, very good program. Try to run 10 and what next? 0. What is happening? Don't enter 0 for denominator. Say 10 and then say what you know, KVR. You say what is happening? Don't enter alphanumerics. Enter the data. 10 and the next is called what? 2. Got division stops. This is the code. Suppose if I go to the system test in company, I will write like this. And internet also will feel exactly the code will look like this only. I can write this code also. I can write this code also. Normal. If you write this code, try and try, while they will easily understand. They will decide on the spot. They don't ask even further more questions because this is 80% of the students not able to write. If they have perfect subject, they can able to write it. Clear or not clear? Clear. So first you practice this. How many phases? Development of exception, hitting of exception, handling of exception. Mango cultivation, mango selling, mango consuming. If you want to consume the chocolate selling, to sell the chocolate production. Correct? Fine. These kind, if you want to drink the water, what do you need to do? Water purification, water supply. That individual people will supply the water to the houses. After that, you need to purify. Again, you need to drink. 3 things compulsory required. Correct? Fine. So this is about the first example of this kind of thing. Online students, is it clear? Is it clear? Is this example is clear? First example, is it clear? Done. Next, right up. One more thing. Okay, 1 minute, student. I'll show the raise keyword once more. Raise keyword I will show you. Did you understand the raise? Did you understand raise? So I'm showing you the raise keyword. Please read out now. Raise keyword. Raise is a keyword used for hitting, raising, or generating the exception, provided some condition must be satisfied. What is the condition satisfied? B is equal to 0. Raise, name of the exception. That is written inside of where business logic development. Where do you develop the business logic development? Inside the functions only. Raise keyword always used inside the function definition only. PVM uses raise keyword implicitly for hitting predefined exceptions, whereas programmer makes the PVM to use raise keyword explicitly for hitting or generating programmer defined exceptions. If test condition, raise exception class name. Other way, DEF, function name, list of formal params if any, so on writing. If test condition, raise exception class name and closing. I think you are following me. So raise 3 points and 1/4 point is syntax 1 and syntax 2. Already 22 points are There, try, except, else, finally, and 4 more points. Totally 26 points. When you will remember 26 points, I don't know. Will you remember all points? You cannot. So if you remember, you are next level student. So this is the right keyword. I'll keep it with us. And I'll go for what? Uploading that. Now you open the notes, write down. Write a Python program. Write a Python program. Write a Python program. Write a Python program which will which will which will validate which will validate which will validate name of the person, name of the person, name of the person or place, name of the person or place or product, name of the person or product or place. Next line, product, product or place or people name, product or place or people name must be purely alphabets, must be purely alphabets, must be purely what? Alphabets. Purely alphabets means what? No digits allowed, no symbols allowed, purely alphabets, only alphabets allowed. Python programming, valid. Python, PROG 123, rest of the letters it is invalid. So that is name validation is very, very important. Another case, another case. Shall we start now? So 3 programs here. It is called just a division of the numbers. And next I'm going for another case study here. Look into that. What is my outline here?